Welcome to Founders Club, the show for real estate entrepreneurs.
Another thing that you talk about a lot is in terms of like real estate and shielding income and all of that is you always talk about how you take profits from your businesses and you put them into real estate. Are you doing that before or after the income is taxed? Are you doing that through the company or entities, or are you doing that on a personal level?
Well, it's simultaneous. Everything's going simultaneously, but you have to have an overall plan. That's why if you look at the financial statement, income, expense, asset, liabilities, is as I see profits coming into, let's say, one of my businesses, let's say the Rich Dad company, and I realize I'm going to be taking about $1 million profit. If I pull that profit, I'm taxed on it. So what I do is Ken McElroy, who wrote the book, The ABCs of Real Estate, because what happened is my income went up, the deals had to get bigger. You know what I'm talking about? As long as I was only making about $1 million a year, I could handle the real estate. But when the income started to go into tens of millions a year, I couldn't handle the real estate. So that's why I have a partner in Ken McElroy. He wrote the book, ABCs of Real Estate, Advanced Guide to Real Estate and all this. That's why Tom kicks in. As long as you're small, you can do it yourself, but I can't anymore. So let's say I know I'll be taking $1 million in profit next year. Well, I don't want to pay tax on that. So I'll call Ken McElroy and I'll see that I need a $5 million profit. So I have 1 million, I need 5 million. So he'll take my million and put it into a $5 million property. Let's keep the math simple.
Right, okay.
From that $5 million property, I depreciate, amortize, appreciate it, and I pay no tax in the system. With the free money, tax-free money, I buy gold, silver, Bitcoin. I've been doing this since 1973. I have millions of ounces in gold, millions of ounces in silver, and Bitcoin stored overseas.
I like that. I want to get into all those, the actual how you're doing it. So you're saying the $1 million in profit, that's in one of your entities.
No, let's say it's coming off Rich Dad to keep it simple.
Okay, yep.
So my book, what's my biggest asset is IP, intellectual property. Like this book here, Who Stole My Pension, just came out 2020. It's in 50 languages throughout the world. I collect royalties. Right. So I forecast out a year in advance. I say, okay, my royalty should be this much. And let's say it's going to come out $1 million. If I take the $1 million, I pay tax on it. So at that point, I'm calling Kenny and I said, Kenny, I need a $5 million property. And from that $5 million property, I get cash flow, appreciation, depreciation, amortization. It's all tax-free money. But you can do it any way you want, but that's my plan.
I'm just curious, the Robert Kiyosaki formula, if you will, on, so is the entity then buying the real estate? Like
you're going into another category. That's my attorney, Tom Garrett Sutton. When I said I'm a C student, I'm serious about that. I was a dumb shit in school. So I always sat next to the smartest girl generally. But in school, that's called cheating. In school, in real life, it's called cooperation. So C stands for capitalist who cooperates. But the elites, the ones who turned my book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, down living in New York City, who are now unemployed and getting mugged on the streets, those guys have to be the smartest people. So they turn to a financial planner who tells them to put it in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and ETFs.
Right.
If that's what you want to do, fine. But why would I do that when I can make more money as an entrepreneur?
Yeah. Maybe I'm missing something here, but I just want to go one more time on that last example. That the $1 million profit. If you took that $1 million profit to you, Robert, that's the taxable event. How are you spinning that into the real estate without paying taxes on it, legally and ethically?
Yeah, well, I buy a piece of property and then all of my appreciation, depreciation. You got to read that book. It's called Tax-Free Fucking Wealth.
I'm on it. Tax-free wealth.
I just don't understand why people don't read that book. Or my partner, other advisor, Garrett Sutton. And it's called Own Your Own Corporation and all that. It's, you see like the cash flow quadrant, E, S, B, and the I. Most people who went to school think like employees and self-employed people. That's why they're poor. You should never go to school if you want to be rich, because you got to be taught by idiots like my poor dad. Poor people. PhD. My dad was a PhD. PhD stands for poor, helpless, desperate. If you understand that, that's what we're teaching our kids. That's why we have so much poverty in America today. They went to school.
Yeah.
They became A students.
We definitely do need more creative thinking. We definitely need more entrepreneurs, and we definitely need more people out there making.
No, you shouldn't go to school. I'm trying to tell you something. Because school will teach you scarcity. You know, school is based on Malthusian Economics. Thomas Malthus was an English cleric. He wasn't an economist. And what he teaches, and it's all through our academic system, is economics is the allocation of scarce resources. There's no scarce resources. What it does is it programs into your brain to think scarcity. Entrepreneurs don't think in scarcity. Entrepreneurs are always thinking in abundance. So the people like my whole family, they all think about, oh, there's not enough money, there's not enough time, I can't do this, I can't do that. But they're all A students. Their brain is polluted. And that's what's happening in schools today. Look at all the kids who are sitting there on the Zoom calls. They're saying, my friends get to say, I'm wasting my time. Okay, so that's what's happening. I'm not saying school is bad, but you got to watch who your teacher is. That's really the most important thing. That was rich dad, poor dad. Yeah. And so thank God I learned about taxes. You know, I learned about real estate. It has nothing to do with real estate. Banks will lend me all I want on real estate.
More good.
Why would they lend me all I want on ETF? No. And then I get tax breaks.
Yeah.
And when I asked my brothers and sisters, I said, you know, how long is it going to take you to earn $1 million? Well, we can't do it. So how long will it take you to borrow $1 million? We don't know how to do that. You see, it's much faster to borrow $1 million tax-free than to work for $1 million. That's the difference. And then as long as I invested into a property that cash flows, so the money goes into the asset, comes out of that liability on the balance sheet. It goes from the liability column into the asset column. It produces cash flow. The cash flow bypasses taxes. So it's tax-free money all the way around. I borrow tax-free, and I put it in my pocket tax-free. That's what real estate's about.
If you're new to the channel, my name is Oliver, and I'm a 3-time Inc. 500 real estate entrepreneur. I'm a co-founder of a brokerage with over 1,000 agents doing $4 billion in sales, and I'm an active real estate investor. But most importantly, I'm passionate about helping you grow your real estate business. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's go.